their community and who they represent. So having you coach there at Valley with Coach Chavez must have given you that same feeling about you wearing the maroon and purple that you maroon and what are the colors? Gold, maroon and gold.
University gold.
University gold. You know, and I remember being a basketball referee for 22 years, and some of the best, most exciting games were Valley and Rio Grande at Valley with the band, the drill team. And if you didn't feel some atmosphere there, so you as Valley coach there, you had to feel that. And right now with your community again, you're in a quarterfinal. You just got it.
There's an excitement like the basketball teams amongst the football team and the fans, the community, and North Valley in general.
Well, I still laugh because Coach Coleman, who was a friend of mine, but when I officiated, I'll tell you one thing, man, the guy would let you know, we say this cara tan rojo, face would turn red, right? Valley legend, legendary baseball player, legendary basketball player, quarterback in football. He was the man. That's the man right there. And but the passion, a three-time champion at Valley, pick up a job over there, and then to Portales, and they're big losses. They're 61-7 and then 45-7. But after that, win against Manzano, Del Norte, Los Alamos, Rio Grande, and Manzano again. So you've reeled off 5 straight here. Tell me how that turnaround happened. Now Portales, and they're good. They're very good. Coach Ramirez, when he was on the show, they've got a good defensive front. They run the ball well. That's a solid football team. Talk a little bit about how the Vikings rebounded from those. Those are tough losses to two good teams. Talk about how the Vikings rebounded.
He's one of our standout defensive players as well, so that kind of hurt us in the secondary with Portales. But we just kind of regrouped, took a breath, said, hey, it's time to move on. Let's move on. Let's do what we got to do. There's still some goals, and at the beginning of every season, I tell them these are our goals. These are our goals. This is what we want to do, and we can still do them.
So why would you do that, right? Why would you do that? So one of the things we do, though, is control what we can control. We can't control that. All we can do is control what our side of the ball does. Exactly. We can't control the stripes. We need them out there because if they're not out there, it's anarchy. We know that. And,
exactly.
You've got some great officials in the stands from. So I think one of the things is you're telling me. I think the team learned from that, even though it's adversity, Coach.
As always says, adversity, deal with it.
How do we get better from it? That's the key to me. Are we going to quit, or what are we going to do? I've always been an advocate of that, and there's got to be. You know what? I coach too, like I said, and I was hard on my kids, but I always tell them too. That's what I'm talking about. Good job. Yeah. You have to do that. The days of that old style coaching, and all due respect to the Bill Gentrys, those it's hard to do that now. It really is. Kids don't respond to that anymore. They don't.
I don't think they would appreciate Bear Bryant. That's for sure.
Hey, you know what? Bobby Knight, Coach Bryant. Bobby Knight knew one way, and it was his way or no way. And that was it. And there was no questions asked. So I think I respect. It seems like you've gotten good results from your team so far, Coach. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about your offense and your defense as you.
Believe us, has some time. Josiah Mitchell, it's intercepted. Touchdown. It'll go the distance, and Jared Meechan.
Bunch formation to the left. Cabrera, the handoff. Cabrera's got some room. Up the middle of the 45-40. Foot race to the end zone. Cabrera trying to outrace the Matador secondary. Dash drug down. Touchdown, I believe. That'll be a 70-yard touchdown run, and it is. Cabrera
right alongside. We expect to be a low-scoring game. Garcia has a lot of speed. Garcia is gone. Nobody gonna catch him. Touchdown Vikings. Daniel Garcia with breakaway speed.
Yeah.
And that will be blocked up front, picked up, and I think we've got ourselves a return for a touchdown. Jace Henderson, the sophomore, has a million.
I don't know if I could have done that or not. Remember all those signals to give the quarterback.
Rivera throws over the middle, intercepted.
Guess
Third
who that
is. There's Megan Post.
Guess who that
Megan
is.
Posa down the right side, still on his feet down the left side now, cuts it back up to Haas. Posa may score. Posa still on his feet, dragging a tackler to the end zone, dives in, touchdown, I believe. Let's see, touchdown.
That
touchdown,
has to be a
Megan
touchdown.
Posa.
Welcome back to the Sports Desk Live on Comcast Channel 26, also streamed on Facebook. I'm your host, Ed Nunez. Our very special guest today, Valley head football coach Billy Cobos. His Vikings will take on Pierre the Vista this week in a quarterfinal football game. Coach, great to have you on. It's great to hear. I'd love to have every coach on and hear about their experiences at their school. You love Valley as much as Jaime Ramirez loves Portales. We had the coach Patrick Rodriguez on from West Las Vegas last week. He loves West Las Vegas. I had Landry Brody on. He loves West Mesa. And you got to love it, man. You do. And I can feel your love for Valley. And, they're lucky to have you. There's the bracket that our producer, Alden Iwani, is putting up. And, you played at Roswell. And Sam Jernigan is, he's a legend, right? He's a legendary football coach. And so you've learned some things along the way. You mentioned the mentorship from Coach Chavez, who again, we think the world of here at ProView Networks. But I got to ask you this, because Charles Lopez Burton, man, that guy cracked me up. The interview, quiet, unassuming, likes, we mentioned, likes to thrift. He likes Adele, sings in the shower, right? Unassuming kid, man, unassuming. I watched this kid, and, man, he's got tree trunks for legs, right? Talented athlete who started out starting as a freshman. Now, you moved him to running back. He's never played running back. He made me laugh, too. He went on YouTube and looked for drills. They can do that now. We couldn't do that back in our day.
Exactly.
This kid studies, man. He's a student of the game. Talk to us about now. He's rushed for 1,704 yards, averages 189 yards a game, had a 300-yard game against Manzano. And for a kid, he also plays defensive end and has 74 tackles. This kid here is special, man. He is. And a special young man, because when I wanted to laugh, he's just quiet and unassuming. Talk to us about your decision, and it's a smart one. Pat yourself on the back, right? To put him at running back. What was it? And that turned things around a little bit. Talk a little bit about that mindset there, because this kid is very, very talented.
Yeah. Well, Coach Martinez Metzger, our defensive coordinator, he said, "Don't move him. He's staying at defensive end. We'll fight in the locker room if we have to." But me and Coach Trujillo, the offensive coordinator, we got to talking about it, and Caden Hohola and Ricky Henderson were huge pieces of our offense last year, as well as Tajay Wilson. And we lost those two to graduation, and they're great kids. And we were just kind of like, what do we do? What do we do? And then we're like, why don't we just move Charlie to running back? And Charlie was like, yeah, I've never played running back. I guess in Yaffle he played line.
We never played it, huh? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and me and Coach Trujillo tease, it's the worst coaching job of our lives, because we've had him for 4 years, and we could have put him at running back. He'd probably have the nation's record for rushing if we would have been smarter. So I can't really pat myself on the back for that one.
But you know what? As he goes right now, you've been around football long enough to know that. Look at Amiri Mumba for Highlands. Jeez, man. Now, Los Alamos, who you beat for the district championship.
Pound bench presser. He power cleans almost 300 pounds. He squats 500. He's a big kid, man. He takes right after his pop. So
he played a defensive line for the University of New Mexico, and you mentioned his mom and dad, and I told you I worked with his mother, Karen, just a very, very nice lady for sure. And so he gets some of that. And you mentioned they're both athletes, so he gets some of that athleticism. His brother Dwayne Burton Lopez was a heck of a discus thrower. So, but when I watched him, there's no swag to him. There's no swag. He's very humble, right? Humble kid.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, kind of a goofy kid in a way, right?
Yeah.
Some people might say that, but I just looked at that and I'm like, and he's also a heck of a basketball player, heck of an athlete, man. And so, talk to us a little bit more about some other players that you want to highlight here. It's a team game here, especially in football, not just a one-man game. Talk a little bit about your offense and defensive players, some other players you might want to highlight.
Well, definitely Tajay Wilson. That's his counterpart. Tajay had a really good game against Manzano, had 3 touchdowns. I even teased Charlie. I go, I bet you were back there getting all mad because he was getting all those touches for the at the goal line to score and stuff like that. But no, Charlie's he's not a jealous kind of kid. He's, like you said, he's very humble. But Tajay line, they've been road graders for the team. I think we have 25 to 3,000 yards rushing on the season, and it's because of those big guys. Our defense is led by Daniel Valdez and Juan Vigil, 2 studs. Dylan Anderson's great. Alec Quiron, he plays that hybrid safety outside linebacker for us. Chris Melendez, he's our safety, leads 5A in interceptions. It's just a great combination of kids, and they work well together, and they hang out on campus, and everything we ask of them, they're just really truly phenomenal kids.
Well, Dez has a lot of tackles on the season. I think even more than Lopez Burton. So that's a good defensive unit that you've put together. Now, Coach, when we talk about road games, you're going down to Piedra Vista, and they're a big winner over Belen last week. Hitting the road is different. We know that. There's a lot of distractions on the road. There's the bracket again, and it's up to you to prepare your team. Winning on the road, I always say, I think you got to be 5 to 8 points better. There's just a lot of factors that you have to face before you even. It's an away game. They've got their face here, and PB shows up, man. They're going to show up. But sometimes I got to say too that I think winning on the road is more satisfied, I think, sometimes. But talk a little bit about the preparation for Piedra Vista. They come in at 5-5, but they've had a fine program out there for many years. Talk about the preparation for Piedra Vista.
Yeah, Coach Hal's got a great program up there, and they've kind of settled down. They started off not so good, and they've won their district and stuff. But we're trying to treat it as a business trip. Like mentally prepare for what's to come, and tell the boys, like, even in practice it's all business. It's all business. You could go off to the side on the sideline when you're taking a break. You could laugh and joke then. But when you're in the drills, when you're in team offense, team defense, it's all business. And that's what we're trying to treat it like, just a business trip up to Farmington.
It's funny because the playoff atmosphere. It's the fall, even though it's really warm now. It's 75 degrees. But still, you got the leaves falling, and it's football time. And so, and that's another thing that Charles Lopez Burton said on the show. He didn't think everybody was locked in last year. Now, a lot of kids don't know what that means. They don't know, right? But he knows now. I mean, that's
focus.
Offense, defense, special team. We've seen special teams. This week against UNLV, New Mexico, special teams didn't perform well, and sometimes people forget how important the special teams are. So it should be a beautiful day down there in Farmington. And the game time is at what time Saturday?
7 p.m. It's on Friday night.
Friday night. So even better, under the lights. Got to be exciting. What time are you? Is your team planning to leave on Friday?
We're going to try to be out of here by 1 o'clock. Get them out. I just feel like we get them off the bus, let them stretch, go relax, do something that's not football, and then come back and focus on football.
So many. I always look. Man, the season is gone. It seems to go so fast, doesn't it? It does. And there's highs and lows of every season. You've had that for sure. You've had some ups and downs, but here you are in the quarters, man. That's got to feel good. Anytime you have a chance to advance and keep winning, you definitely have that chance on Friday. Valley head football coach Billy Cobos, we wish you, thank you so much for joining us on